Injury. Noun. To suffer physical harm or damage. The textbook definition of injury. But is there more to an injury than we commonly think? What other forms of harm or damage can we experience after an injury? While physical damage is a huge factor in an injury, the aftermath is just as, if not more, important. The emotional factor, the financial factor and the legal factor of injuries are the most overlooked parts of injury, but are the most crucial to a full recovery. Alongside the aftermath of injuries, the prevention of injuries are an important piece as well. Knowing which situations are at a certain level of importance for prevention strategies and how we can use them in our daily lives to be ready for disaster both before and after it happens. The following presentation will explain each of these elements. Please enjoy.
Today you will be learning about kind of plausible emergencies and what you should do in an emergency situation. First is a biological emergency, which is known to terrorism by a terrorist. Next up, disaster emergency. For example, like a hurricane or tornado, be prepared at all times. Have your gear ready for anything that could come. Huge destruction. Tornadoes destroyed everything in their path. Lastly, environmental emergencies. This could be like a wildfire or a volcanic eruption, destroying anything in its path. Stay alert if near volcanic or woods. Wildfires could come at any time, you just don't know when. Take action. Next up, emergency situations. There are many ways to take action in emergencies. Here are a couple of things you need to do when there is an emergency. Call 911. Act fast. Don't panic. Make sure everyone stays calm. There are never hard feelings about that. Paramedics expect that as part of the job. Paramedics would much rather show up and find the person in good health at home than be called late and spared out of control. Start CPR. Even people who have taken a CPR course can be directed by dispatcher. And lastly, if you are dizziness or fainting and you're sitting again, maybe airport, and you see someone, call for help, and the ambulance will come.
Could you imagine one day going to school or going out to work and being faced with an undesirable position that can even be life-threatening? However unnerving an emergency situation may be, we tend to give little thought of a possibility. Nonetheless, these predicaments can be escaped and prevented through educating yourself. In the article 5 Ways to Prevent and Avoid Accidents in the Workplace, the Health Focused Association Intelligence HQ educates readers on how to stop a disaster from ever occurring. In the article, they use statistics from the researchers on accidents in companies and give safety guidelines that should be followed so that these circumstances can be interrupted. The Intelligence HQ surveys show that more than 2 million American workers are poorly protected from health-related injuries. Many of these incidents often occur, but are completely preventable and extremely detrimental to the overall stature of the company. Some of the employees are hurt badly enough on the job that they cannot go back to work and require continuing medical care. The helpful practices for preventing and bypassing workplace setbacks include eliminating shortcuts, conducting regular and thorough emergency drills, being aware of and prepared for inherent risks, keeping your eyes peeled and your guard up for potential causes of mishap, posting safety guidelines in multiple places around the workplace, and require anonymous participation in the safety program. Precautionary steps, if followed, can prevent many unnecessary accidents if educated members of society begin to educate those who are less informed on these guidelines. These practices are beneficial to the safety of workers to allow a more productive system. Guidelines like these are not only helpful in the work field, but can be very helpful for sidestepping hazards anywhere. Educating others on how to prevent such risks from occurring, we will definitely see a decrease on preventable incidents.
Hello, I am Colin, and this is, hello, my name is Colin Bitter, and this is my injury treatment and prevention project. Now, if you get in, first let's start out, people in sports, listen to this and actually learn from this, because there's someone that had, and there's a lot of people that had injuries, and all around the world, but this is not just sports; it's all around. Any injury prevention, anything. Now, if you get injured a lot of things could happen, like breaking toes or severe injuries and all that. If you break your toe, the doctor could not help. The doctor can't put it into a cast or anything like that. It's too not severe, but too small of a bones. I got this information from my mom. Now here's something from an online site that a friend helped me out with. There's this person. His name's Dylan. He got ran over by a car on November 8th, 2012. When he got to the hospital, they found out that he had this traumatic brain injury. So he has a drain tube attached to his head. Instead of cutting open his head, instead of putting it, they wanted to attach the tube to his head instead of cutting it open. With this, he can't freely eat food. His food. I don't want you guys to end up like him. So be careful and be precautious of your surroundings everywhere. Now he is better, but this injury follows him for the rest of his life. And that's it.
I just remember sitting at home thinking to myself, it's like, I have no one. My friends were there for me at first, but after a while, they weren't.
I looked up on her Facebook page, and she said on there, "Can anybody please hang out with me today? I don't have any friends."
Before the car accident, the things I did in high school with my friends were, just go to the high school games and everything. Every weekend go to a party, go bowling. I was a good student. I was a role model. I was like a popular girl in high school, so I used to model.
My main worry for Liz as a parent before she started driving was the typical teenage things, the drugs and the alcohol and, being safe and hanging around the right kind of kids and keeping her grades up. I did not think that Liz was connected to her mobile phone. I didn't realize that she loved her phone as much as she did.
I used my cell phone every second, every minute, every hour. If I didn't have it, I would freak out because I couldn't connect with my friends. I couldn't connect with anyone. Couldn't connect with social media or anything. If I didn't have my cell phone, I felt lonely.
I would ask her all the time, "Liz, do you text and drive?" And she said, "No, Mom, I swear I don't. Don't worry, I don't use my phone when I'm behind the wheel."
I ignored these warnings about texting while driving because everyone else was doing it, so I thought it was okay. I thought I was invincible, but clearly, I was completely wrong.
I was getting ready for work, and then 12 hours later, I'm in ICU staring at my daughter, who's bald, and tubes running in and out of her body, and it's just overwhelming devastation over a stupid text.
The consequences of my life now after the car accident is the fact that I'm blind in one eye now. I cannot smell. I cannot hear that very good because a bone broke in half and covered my eardrum. I can't create tears because both my tear ducts got damaged, and I can't put my body to sleep naturally. I take medicine and go to sleep. The hardest part about my life after the car accident was the fact that I was alone. Everyone was away at college. I couldn't drive, I couldn't go to college. My friends were there for me at first, but after a while, they weren't. They got tired of me. They got tired of all my problems.
Don't text your loved ones when you know they're driving. It can change their lives forever.
If you get a text, don't look at it. It's not worth it.
I thought I was invincible, but I was clearly wrong, says 20-year-old Liz Marks, with her life completely changed before her. If Liz Marks would have not looked down at her phone, she probably wouldn't be where she is today. The results of her actions caused her financial, emotional, and physical pain that may follow her for the rest of her life. Stories like Liz Marks enlightens and educates others on the importance of using strategies to prevent such tragedies from occurring. That treatment for such accidents can be challenging, and that others should be informed of what to do and what not to do.
It is important that everyone has safety precaution measures in the event of an emergency, both at school and at work, so no one gets hurt. It is important to understand work and school both have benefits. However, workers and students can still be injured on the job, become sick, or even be killed on the job or in school. It is imperative that workers and students understand how workplace risks can affect their families and their lives. However, the good news is that injuries and illnesses are predictable and can be prevented with proper safety precautions. It is important to identify hazards at school and at work and be able to predict how workers and students can be injured or be made sick. Recognize how to prevent injury and illnesses. Describe the best ways to address these hazards and apply these concepts to specific workplace and school problems. Identify emergencies at work and school and decide on the best ways to address these problems. Recognize that employers and teachers are responsible for the well-being of students and workers. Workers and students also have the responsibility for keeping themselves and their coworkers safe. Find resources and rules or create rules that help keep workers and students safe and healthy on the job. Demonstrate how workers and students can communicate with others in times of an emergency, including people in authority roles, so they are able to answer questions and or help teach workers and students to report problems or concerns when they feel unsafe or threatened.
Injuries are costly and affect each and every person in the world on a daily basis. From small injuries like a broken arm or a sprained ankle, or large injuries like a major surgery or suffering from a car accident. Each of these injuries of varying degrees come with a cost. A person can suffer from extreme emotional trauma, mental scarring, discontent in a family, permanent physical discomfort and financial troubles from paying multitudes of hospital bills and insurance fees. The emotional toll can affect both you, as the injury did happen to you directly, and your family from seeing you incapacitated or injured. The mental toll affects you by giving you flashbacks of the event depending on the severity of the injury, and your family by having constant thoughts of your injury. The financial toll can affect you by raising your insurance rates from a severe injury and paying bills to the hospital for nursing you back to health and allowing you to stay in their facilities for an extended amount of time. These tools can cause a person to be negatively affected for short or long periods of time, once again, depending on the severity and significance of the injury or injuries.
Hopefully this presentation has educated you on the importance of preparing for, preventing, and dealing with injuries. With this knowledge, you will be able to be financially prepared, emotionally capable, and mentally equipped to prevent an injury from happening to you or the people around you. You will have the knowledge on how to manage money for an injury, how to help your family through your injury, and plan for the future. The next time you or someone you know has been injured, Know the steps and take charge of your future.